All right, we're live.
Yes,
First episode of 2026.
we're back. We're so back.
We're back. We both had a little bit of setback in our personal health. We're both, let's say, living very healthy lifestyles.
That's number one priority with me. But
We both got quite a severe, what was it? Fever? No, it's
Corona, I say.
yeah. No, it was. How do you call griep in English?
Yeah, fever and well, it was almost like an
Our brains are still not on.
yeah. I had some issues with my lungs as well, and
Yeah, the flu. We had a
flu.
quite,
Yeah, exactly.
quite
There we go.
strong, quite a strong flu.
Yeah,
And it took almost 4 weeks. You're almost out of it.
yeah. I'm like 2 weeks behind you. I
Okay.
believe.
Yeah.
But I'm still week 4, and I still had 2 setbacks this week.
Yeah. Really crazy. So
Yeah.
I've never experienced something like that in my life. But
Me neither.
well, enough of that. So good to be back covering Tesla.
Yeah.
And we just digested the earnings calls of Q4. So we will go into that and full year 25 and a sort of forward-looking statement for 26. But I think the topic we are both most passionate about is the mission statement of Tesla.
Yep.
First, it was accelerating the world to sustainable energy. There was, of course, something you also built Mr. Green upon to help with that mission. Then we had briefly sustainable abundance.
Yeah.
But apparently, Elon got so excited that sustainable abundance is not enough. So the new mission statement of Tesla is amazing abundance. So
I always learned that a mission statement stays the same, you know.
normally, yes, but
Tesla's already 20 years old, and I think mission is already accomplished.
for accelerating the world to sustainable energy, that's
yeah.
done.
Done. Yeah.
Maybe still scaling up. So scaling up the capacity to manufacture for energy, for solar, both very aggressively ramped up, as we learned in our latest earning report. So we will get into that.
Yeah, and it was also, I think, I'm not sure if it was the real reason for this mission, but it was also tied to the time frame from 10 years ago. That was actually, everybody was like, okay, it's climate change we were fighting.
Yeah.
But I think it's not about climate change anymore. Of course, it's like a given.
Yeah.
You know, of course, we're going to transition from fossil fuel based to alternative energy. And not only because we need to fight climate change, we have to preserve the world and nature and the animals and our lifestyle, etc. But it gets cheaper, and it gets so cheap that it get us to a new world, a world of abundance. So I think that's also because of the time, the zeitgeist is changing.
Yeah.
We also needed a new mission statement.
Yeah, so the first transition, let's say, from Tesla transitioning from a EV car company to a AI robotics company, is first sustainable abundance is a sort of extrapolation of the first Tesla mission of accelerating the world to sustainable energy. So there's still that word sustainable in it, and now it's a leap further to amazing abundance.
Yep.
And amazing abundance, I've been thinking about it this morning when I walk my dog. Like, what would that mean? And why do we choose the word amazing abundance? So I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Why do you think Tesla is going to help us to get to a world of amazing abundance?
Yeah, good question. I think already the alliteration is better, you know, 2 A's, amazing abundance. I don't know why he chose amazing.
I have some thoughts.
Okay. But it was already very interesting to go from the first mission statement to the second, to sustainable abundance. So explaining abundance, that's what Elon has been doing for the last 6 months. Also saying a lot about what that will mean for us as humans, and about the economy, etc., with universal high income, etc. And that living in abundance is like it's good for everybody. So it will raise everybody's living standard. And also because he is so knowledgeable about what's happening on the AI front, he's seeing the exponential curve, and he's seeing how good it's gonna be and how cheap it's gonna be. So we are literally getting into an abundant state. He also said that the GDP is gonna increase into double-digit figures, the GDP growth. So we are already seeing a GDP spike in US. I think this quarter is going to be like 5 to 6%, which is
insane.
In US terms is like almost a doubling of normal GDP growth. Can you imagine if we are in 12 months further and we are in double digits? That will be, if that's all because of AI, it also shows that AI is actually the motor behind this new abundance. But why it's amazing abundance, I think it's because maybe the triangle that we discussed, that he has this triangle, we called it the Demian triangle because we're
drawing it.
So it consists of, one was beauty. No, I mean, we have to show AI that one of the things that he should look for is
don't kill all the butterflies.
Exactly, and have some empathy for aesthetics, etc., and for art, etc., for beauty, and that's, I think, the basis for curiosity, for our how our mind works. So I think there's a connotation from amazing to beauty in that way, but
also truth seeking.
And truth seeking, that's the second one. And the third one in the
beauty, curiosity, and truth seeking.
Yeah, that was it. So that was the one I was missing. The third one.
So
So truth and amazing. I'm not able to really connotate that yet, but go ahead. Why do you think it's amazing?
Well, that's exactly right. What you say, that amazing part will be the beauty and the creativity that gets unleashed by AI. And robotics, because we learned in the earnings call that the Optimus 3 is almost there. So it will be revealed in the coming months, let's say 1 to 5.
So you mean the third version of Optimus?
Yes, third version, and it will be very human-like. So you almost cannot distinguish that there's a human inside that thing. But we have not seen that yet. So we're in the very early innings of the, let's say, real-world AI solutions.
There was actually a video coming out of Japan, I believe, or South Korea. There was a real human walking with a helmet.
Okay.
So we had to look twice to see whether it was the feed 3 or it was a real human.
But, we're now start seeing the benefits of working with AI, right? So everybody that is sort of professional in whatever field uses AI in their daily their daily toolkit, let's say, to enhance productivity. So yesterday, for example, I was writing out a document for a loan to a group of entrepreneurs. It was like 20K or so, and I just typed in the conditions in Grok and then in Gemini, and then I got this thing and I copy pasted in the.
You stopped using ChatGPT?
I never used that.
Oh, okay.
But I'm quite fan of Gemini. I think.
Really me too.
So then I had this contract, shared a link with them, Google Drive link, and we walked through it. And let's say 15 minutes, we got all that stuff done. So normally that could take quite a bit longer to get that fixed. So that will show you how efficient and how much output you can create by having these tools at hand. But the most interesting part of AI is still to come, and that's of course the world where we're going to see it in a real world with cars and with
physical
robotics.
AI.
So let's go. Let's do a deep dive this episode also in what abundance will mean. And what it means for you personally, So I'm curious for that. But the word amazing is that we can really start unleashing our creativity as humans by not being burdened by all the things that are normally sort of burdensome slash energy draining, let's say. So right now
you mean that you have an idea, but you already get tired of actually thinking about all the to-dos you have to do in order to actually
and all that
manifest the idea, or
so for example, right now I'm building my company Next Level Human. But as you know, many things of building a company are just boring stuff that you need to get done. You need to get a bank account. You need to go to the notary. You need to have some contracts for your suppliers. So it's not all the fun things. You have this vision what you want to achieve. So what
will be a day that you have to hire somebody as well.
Sorry?
You have to hire somebody as well.
Yeah, you have to hire, but then you need to hire that person, and then you can go to platforms nowadays to hire freelancers and so. But there's still many hoops that you need to take.
Yeah.
And so, for example, yesterday with that loan, it was just like bam, and the AI had something ready for us. So. Normally, I would go back and forth with some lawyer, but now it's too simple, so I just use that.
Yeah.
So what that means is that I can allocate more of my willpower, and I will go into willpower as one of the most important currency for us humans to develop. Is I can use all that willpower to start generating that vision that I have for my company. Yep. So the mission for my company is helping people to get to a 1% health. By measuring 25 biomarkers on a regular basis. So that's a sort of feedback loop that we're establishing there. So I want to use all my knowledge to get experts on that field, and AI is going to help, but you still want to validate that. But that is where I'm creating value, and that is like a hard problem that I'm trying to solve that is useful for humanity. So also Elon in the shareholder call said at Tesla we're trying to solve very hard problems, because by solving very hard problems, we will create value. And if you track Elon's track record over the last 20 years, there's no human on Earth that has ever created so much value as Elon did in the last 20 years, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the builders of the pyramids, but that's a different discussion.
Yeah, on the earnings call, it was very interesting to learn as well that he was saying, okay, we have to build this solar fab, and we have to build this AI fab, and we already built this lithium refinery, and we have to actually put some more CapEx to this refinery. And he was like asking on his knees almost like, can please somebody try to solve this kind of issue, because we don't feel like doing this, but we need to do it.
They need the lithium.
But I was always thinking that it's more that they need to do it. It's also like, okay, we need to do this ourselves. We have to go through the learning process in order for us to also build this on another level. So I think the reason that he's going to build a solar factory himself, which you would think, yeah, okay, why don't you just let some other experts do this, is he needs to build a solar factory on the moon in a few years.
Yep.
So he needs to go through the process to learn, okay, what's it all about. And he needs to get to the core in order to get this done at the moon.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I also think that he discontinued the SNX, but he didn't discontinue the Cybertruck.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the Cybertruck will drive itself on the moon as well. So I'm not going to see an S or an X drive on the moon.
No, not yet. Yeah.
So, sorry, where did we go? But
no,
this
yeah.
was,
so let's
following
dive deeper into that.
Your discussion.
First we go into the word of amazing, and then we go into the word of abundance. So for me, amazing means like we humans will not be burdened by all these drags. That are just boring, repetitive tasks or chores that you need to go through in order to get some things done. You just want to use your willpower as much as possible to get the thing done that solves a big problem. And going to the notary and getting a bank account and all that, is not very difficult, but you still need to use a certain amount of willpower to go through that stuff, and you want to use that willpower in sort of ways that you're actually solving a problem. And the way society has been constructed, and I saw a very interesting discussion this week on X as well about the European Union, is that rules and regulation has become so difficult for so many people. So in order to get done, you're spent the most amount of time on rules and regulations and, let's say, compliance, instead of actually solving the problem that you want to solve.
Yep.
Right? So, and if you will, and the way Elon works is like he boils down the problem, and then he spent all his resources thinking about what the most critical thing is to solve that specific problem. So in the earnings call came very clear that 3-4 years ahead from now, we expect problems with chips. So you need to anticipate on that and build a chip supplier, because his current suppliers, both for geopolitical risk and for just capacity, it's not possible. So you will find solutions for that and ways to accelerate that. So the work.
Yeah, but so he's also always looking at the bottlenecks, but he's also going back to the amazing part.
Yeah.
He is always looking for when he goes through his 4-step process, and the 4th step is automate.
Yeah.
So with AI, he can use AI in order to get that 4-step process better.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about is the 4th step of actually canceling all your to-dos, or not doing it yourself anymore, but just have somebody actually execute upon all those.
That really
the moment you have your system, and you already are an entrepreneur, so you know the steps to actually build a company. Yeah. But that's also a system. I mean, you could copy paste or a blueprint from anybody else. Okay, I want to set up a company. What do I need to do? Well, I need to do this 100 steps. Yeah. Well, if you have an AI actually doing those stuff already, because it's the same as that step that you were describing, every entrepreneur needs to do that. Yeah. But why should an entrepreneur put his time and precious ideas, energy into those kind of stupid things? Yeah.
So they're necessity. And exactly. Right now, what we have right now, and this is obviously something that will change in the next 10 to 20 years as well, but we're now we have this AI technology that can think with us, but it still cannot get it done for you. Like you still need to approve that contract and all that. But that is because we're dealing with a legacy system. So we're dealing with a legacy system of notaries and all those kind of things that needs to make it official and all that.
Yeah, but also within your own company. I mean, I've been building Mr. Green for 15 years. Mm-hmm. And I think the only thing I was really always doing throughout those 15 years was actually looking at a quadrant for myself. Where am I good at and where do I get energy from? Mm-hmm. So those were the 2 axes. And the axis where I don't get energy and I'm not good at, I would say, okay, I'm going to either delete it or outsource it. Yep. And I'm only going to focus on those things that I'm good at and I get energy from. Yeah. But then I realized I'm also going to outsource the things I'm good at. Mm-hmm. I'm only going to do the things I get energy from. So 95% of my tasks in my Asana, mm-hmm. I was actually putting them on other people. Mm-hmm. And then I realized at the latest moment, I said, okay, I have to actually outsource myself. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I have to fire myself in order to get to this new level where I can get into this new ideas, which I already have on another mm-hmm. board, my 100 ideas, where I didn't have time to actually execute upon because I was still stuck in doing things in my old thing. And that's also the admiration we have for Elon mm-hmm. as an entrepreneur. How can you build 7 companies together while managing, being a CEO of every company? Yeah. How do you do that? That's our main admiration.
Not the million, not the billion, but the $1 trillion question nowadays. So that's
and I think he already is what you were just explaining by having to put this notary or whatever. He already has people in place to actually do that for him. So he has a whole team around him.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
then still.
But also that team is getting more organized and more automated. So, and that's because he has this internal AI system within Tesla already working, and it's getting better and better and better. And I think with ChatGPT, etc., everybody, even on this in the MKB, in the
small companies,
is getting access to this kind of intelligence in order to get more automation. So I completely understand what you're saying about this amazing part. Is that the automation is getting so democratized, so worldwide available that everybody can do what Elon is doing.
So this is level 1 in the world amazing. That is, you're not burdened anymore by chores that, let's say, don't give you that energy, or where you're not so capable in. Yep. So that is level 1. But amazing has also level 5. And level 5 amazing is a whole different category that we have not spent time thinking about.
And we don't even know what it is, probably.
Yeah, I will explain.
Okay.
Or at least share.
Do you have level 2, 3, and 4 as well?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Level 2, 3, and 4. But I had this realization. I hired a great guy for our content strategy over the last couple of months. But then you go to work with them, and before you know, he's so full with work already that you always need to prioritize the things that you want to execute on. You know that, right? From your company. Yeah. And some things you need to have a trade-off. For example, if I like it when my house is very organized, and I like it. I always love the feeling that it's fully clean. So now I have this cleaning robots, those Zumba, Roomba, or Dreamy, what the name is, Dreamies, and it's amazing feeling every day because it's so, it's the floor.
It happens overnight. Yeah,
it happens overnight. But for example, cleaning my windows is something that happens like once every 2 months. But if they're done, like at that moment, you have this very bright feeling in your house that the sun is coming in. It's amazing feeling when the windows are there, or you're walking around in the city and there's no pollution or no mess and all that. But you cannot do those tasks on that level. Maybe some societies, as Singapore, succeeded in it. Very disciplined people, but also available for labor, cheaper labor that can be allocated to that. But that is now that is what I call level 3 abundance, or level 3 of the world amazing, because you can have your standard of living, not like a basic income. Income doesn't say anything.
No.
Right? Because you can have very high income, but still have
still need to do all those chores.
Yeah, very, very poor quality of life. Right? And that's maybe a trap that entrepreneurs step in when they have all these responsibilities, and then actually their quality of life deteriorates because they don't have time for friends anymore. Right? So that's a thing. So, but also, there are many people with endless amounts of resources, but they still have a crappy diet, for example. So they just simply don't have the knowledge, or they don't have the
systems in place.
The systems in place to have that. So many people that lead very busy life also have a very unhealthy life. Yep. So level 3 of amazing is that all of that is being done on the highest standard that you can imagine. So you have the best quality of food. You have the best quality of living in your house. So everything is always organized. Everything is always polished. You never have to worry about the dishwasher. Your dog is being walked when you don't have to. It becomes an optional thing to walk your dog. If your kids are bored, you can provide them with the best education because the Optimus bot can help us do that. That is level 3 of amazing, which is already like super amazing, right? If we can establish that, or you're elderly that has a disease, you can take care of that. But also transport, if you want to get to A to B on very cheap, you can just have a cybercab and almost at zero cost you have that. You have all the information in the world with AI technology, but also music and videos, and all that is there available in abundance. So that's level 3 of abundance, like amazing levels of abundance that we have there. But then we push it to a whole different boundary, and that's the boundary that Elon is actually thinking about and exploring, and that is level 5 of amazing.
We're skipping 4 right now.
4, there's always in between. So
Okay.
For the simplicity, you can also have 3 levels. Like level 1 is you're not burdened anymore with the tasks you don't want to do. Level 2 is that you're actually are able to increase your living standards quite substantially by having a cleaner house, the best quality food and all that available for you. You know, everybody will have that. But then we will reach to level 5, and that's a whole new unprecedented era that we can enter, because level 2, or I like level 5 a little bit more. So let's stick to the level 5. Level 5 is we always, even a guy like Elon, is constrained by work capacity. So if he has a certain talent, for example, let's say you want to build you have a new idea for human health. So you want to build a hospital where you need 1,000 surgeons. Those 1,000 surgeons are simply not available because there's not enough people that get educated to the level of surgeon that you might have for your idea to have 1,000 surgeons at hand. So you're always constrained when it comes to workers. So, for example, I've been rebuilding my house a couple of times, and now in a mission of rebuilding things. And there's always like, we don't have enough electricians, so we miss a plumber and all that. So there's always a shortage of
always a bottleneck. Yeah.
Bottleneck of capable people there. Mm-hmm. But for example, if you want to go to level 5 abundance, you will not be limited anymore by those constraints. So also for these level 1 to 3 are reactive things, right? You can increase your standard of living. You can don't have the chores anymore. But level 5 is that you're actually going to proactively push towards things that are amazing. Yep. So let's say I have a kid of 5-year-old. I'm unfortunate to have 2 left hands, so I want to build a tree house. But I don't have, I cannot do it, and I also not enough willpower apparently to push to outsource it, or maybe that costs me too much money for a treehouse. But now I can just come up with it and say, Optimus, build me a treehouse, and it starts working. So then you can craft all sorts of amazing experience. So some will be experience driven, but also right now in the US, as Elon explained, we need oil refinery very badly. But we simply don't have the capability as a country to have 1,000 people that can build up this whole oil refinery thing.
Yeah.
The same with Venezuela, right? You've been in oil in Venezuela in the past. As a country, they have the resources, but they just simply don't have the capabilities or the organization to make that happen. And this is not going to be a problem anymore because, first of all, the capabilities are being captured by the AI, by XAI and Grok.
Yep.
And then the execution is being done by Optimus.
Yep.
So there comes the leap to abundance, because right now we're fighting all those needless wars about resources, because on local places we simply don't have the manpower and willpower to extract those kind of things. So then we can get to level 5 of abundance, but also tasks that don't make money. There are many tasks, for example, maintaining a public park, maintaining a rainforest healthy. Mm-hmm. All those kind of tasks are now too costly to let be operated by humans, because there's no direct ROI.
Exactly. So it's all about cost.
Yeah.
Everything you want to do, you have to find funding, and you have to make it a sustainable business model in order to have it become sustainable.
Yes, exactly.
But when cost goes down, it's possible. Yeah. And if cost not only goes down, but also the whole inertia or the friction actually goes down, because you can automate everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, then everything becomes amazing.
Yeah.
And it becomes and you can just think of something and it could be executed, could be manifested.
Yeah, so that's one part, but the bigger part is, for example, right now it's very costly to launch a satellite.
But it's also crazy to think that. I mean, I don't know how your head is, but I have a certain idea. Is while learning you for the last year, there are lots of people with lots of ideas.
Mhm.
If every idea gets executed, that's also going to be crazy, no? How I'm curious about how you think about that. How is that going to work? I mean,
Yeah.
there's also kind of a filter why you don't execute upon an idea, because the idea is not really thought out yet, and you need kind of a feedback loop in order to get your idea into and learning.
Existence,
And learning. Oh, okay, this was my beginning of the idea, but it was not really my idea. I learned from the market, from the friction, etc. This was actually my idea. You already forgot about your old idea because it wasn't a good idea.
Yeah.
So how is that going to work? Are those feedback loops going to become more and more efficient, or
Let's have a very concrete.
Or are we going to get like okay, thank you, Florian, for bringing up that idea, but I'm not going to execute upon this because I've been thinking about it and it's not going to work.
No.
That's the AI is going to say, stop your hold your horses. We're not going to do this.
Yeah, the couple of thoughts on that one. So let's take, for example, first of all, we're conditioned to not to take too much on our plate because we're still conditioned in the execution bottleneck.
Scarcity.
Scarcity mindset. It's not an abundance mindset.
Exactly.
I cannot execute on this idea because I don't have
time,
resources.
Yeah. I don't want to go through all the hell, and
even
I just don't feel like
really want it.
Yeah.
So I have two ideas, concrete examples that I've been encountering in my personal life. Yeah.
Okay.
So over the last 2 years, I've been helping or supporting a musician that has addiction problem, and basically he is a very capable human when it comes.
What kind of addiction?
Heroin addiction.
Okay.
Yeah. So very
severe addiction.
Severe addiction.
Yeah.
And he's been on and off, but then you need medication and all that. So it's a very problematic problematic. But he's the best guitarist in the world still. He still can play amazing guitar. But basically, I've been supporting with a bit of financial support. But basically, the solution will be for him that he has 24/7 care that he needs.
Feedback.
Sorry?
Feedback.
Just care and feedback. So if something escalates, he needs somebody to talk to, or it can get out of hand.
Yep.
It can get and the level of out of hand is like literally being arrested by police again because he had a sort of anger management stuff, problematic behavior. But if you have like now we have some care for him, but that's like free time of a whole bunch of volunteers that we have. If we can assign one humanoid to him, that is already like freeing up maybe 3 or 4 people that can give some additional guidance, but the bot can do a lot of heavy lifting there. So that's a example in my daily life. But let's extrapolate this to a bigger problem, for example. But now we cannot assign somebody 24/7 to him because simply the economics don't work. We cannot fund that kind of level of care that we need for him in order to do his thing.
Yep.
Now let's take that for a bigger problem, for example. So there are many people that care about the Amazon rainforest, for example. So if you would look at the Amazon rainforest as a giant organism, what do you need? You need monitoring of how many trees are still there. You need monitoring of how many water is falling and all that. Normally that would be very costly because we cannot launch those dedicated satellites to that specific problem. But now we can do that because the launch of satellites will be much cheaper, and that's also something that can work. But why? But then maybe if you would maintain that rainforest in a very optimal manner, maybe you need like, let's say, extreme situation. You need 2 million humans to constantly check out things if there are no illegal stuff going on, if there's not anything going on that is harming that rainforest.
Yeah.
But now
Stopping the tree cutting industry, or
something that can be bothered there. So now, and I'm not too deep involved into this problem, but just as a sort of thought exercise, like how can we get to a world of amazing abundance?
Yeah,
It's like there are many people that are easily willing to fund that crazy amount of humanoids and satellites in order to solve the problem. There are many people right now. Just writing a check is not bringing you the solution, right? So because you then still need the execution power to make that happen.
Yep.
So there are many incentives.
I'm getting this visual. I've been just watching the podcast from Lex Friedman where he interviews this guy who has met this the last tribe. Which hasn't been in contact with humans.
Oh yeah.
In the deep
Paul Rosalie.
Deep in the Amazon, near the border of Brazil and Peru, I believe.
Yeah.
And they have footage of that. It's amazing. They are like a tribe looking at these humans. And what the fuck?
What are these? Yeah.
Who are you? But they've been encountered already with the tree cutting people, and they actually kill those people because they are the ones who are cutting the trees, and the trees for them are their gods,
Yeah.
So can you imagine Optimus walking around there, and this tribe seeing Optimus walk around?
Yeah. I'm here to protect the trees.
Protect you. They're like, what are we going to do with this?
What the hell is this? Yeah. They would probably smoke a pipe with the Optimus bot, like.
Maybe Optimus can also, because he cannot be killed, he can actually build a bridge between them and us humans. Because that was also in that documentary. It was very difficult to actually build a bridge because there was there was not any trust.
Yeah. Between
the two tribes. It was like, who are you and what?
Who's going to shoot first?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, but the point that I want to make...
But I understand your point, yeah.
The point that I want to make is like many projects that are super, helpful for humanity are not being executed upon because simply the economics don't work.
Yeah, but I also immediately got this visual what you were saying, okay, there's this NGO who's working in to protect the rainforest, but with the latest developments that all the NGOs are actually kind of a laundry machine for money getting back into the system, etc. It's also going to be such a mirror to us as a society. For holy shit, we could have done so much things so much more efficient if we would just be reasonable to each other, or if we don't depend on this bullshit money anymore. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So that's also what abundance is going to create. Abundance is going to create like a new way of living together and not being too dependent on money anymore, Yeah. So the scarcity also creates kind of a mindset to get the money that you are not even rightfully owned, but because you are able to actually get it,
Yeah.
It's the same thing if you enter a thief into a room where they can just grab things. It's too much of a moment for him. Okay, I can seize the moment, I can just do it, and they give me the opportunity, so I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. But if that opportunity is not actually there anymore because scarcity is gone, mm-hmm. There's abundance, so of course you take this, but why?
Yeah, why?
We already have everything we got, so we're also going to lose this dark kind of way of behaving.
Yeah.
So we're going to lose maybe our dark side as well. Or that's something I got up when you were talking about this.
Yeah, that is also something that, for example, native tribes had, like in the Amazon or in ancient America, that they, like the Westerners coming in, trying to get all the resources, all the gold, and they're like,
why?
Why do you want that stuff?
Yeah.
It's a question that they could not answer. And they said, why?
Yeah, that's how we are wired. Is that we are wired by capitalism, by scarcity, by exponentiality by funding things, etc. It's the same thing as this
I would
billionaire meeting this fisherman.
I would say there are two type of sort of capitalism. I would say there's only one type, but the type two. I will explain the one. And first, the sustainable abundance mission of Tesla. Sustainable means like we can sustain this type of abundance. Elon knows very well there are two type of games that can be played. One is a zero-sum game, and that means I'm entering your land and I'm stealing your resources, right? Now I have the resources and you don't anymore.
Yep.
That's a sort of the economy over the last 500 years, let's say.
Yep.
So the
predatory capitalism.
Yeah, so the Spaniards entered.
We were very good at it. Yes.
Entered that country, and they took the land from sort of the natives. So, and the natives said, "Why do you want the land? Why don't you want the sky?" For them it was like a strange idea to be so obsessed over territory.
Yep.
And if you think about it, it's still like a very stupid idea to be this obsessed over territory, because there's so much space on Earth, but everybody wants to live on the same square meters in Amsterdam or New York. That's that's a sort of social status game that you then have if you live in the city center close to Central Park, New York or so, that you can signal your social status in the society living at certain places.
Yeah.
But from a survival point of view, it's like a very unnecessary way of living. So that's one. So the sustainable abundance means like you have two games. You have the zero-sum game, and that is I take from you, and therefore I'm advancing my position by taking something of you. But you also have the infinite game, and that's the game that Elon is playing by just creating bigger pies all the time. And the pies now grow so big with cheap energy. So with all the solar that is being deployed, also solar in space, information, with the AI information, you have all the information at your fingertips. Everything you can think about, you can ask the AI to give you some answers. And a couple of years from now, you will have way superior answers than you have right now. Then you have transport. Transport is, has always been a bottleneck for us humans, and we're now able to travel all over the world for just a fraction of the price, so it becomes available for everybody. And then the one that was always been historically only for the kings and the queens is like you had one king, 1% of the population, and 99% were peasants or were slaves. So they needed slaves in order to get their wealth for what they needed for their kingdom. But that is now not so we don't have to capture people anymore with if you work for a corporate company, you get this very nice contract, like a very nice cushion, like you earn 300K a year, you get so many days off, but you're still sort of handcuffed, right? You cannot deploy all sorts of ideas that you then have. You need to stick to the corporate policy and all that. So in the end, you're still sort of what we call a wage slave, because you're still dependent on that. And
it's the golden cage.
The golden cage. And
Yeah.
if there was they did a questionnaire during COVID, like if you could.
But what was your point? Because I'm trying to get to the point that you were trying to explain something. The
abundance that we're creating, energy, information, all the things that normally would cost money, but now also labor and resources. So resources that can be extracted with that labor will be available for everybody. So there's no need anymore to fight over these kind of resources. So the only fights that you will have in the future are sort of social status type of situations, because people will probably still crave that and see how they match among their peers with whatever they're doing. But it's not going to be a resource fight anymore, which is a whole different world that we then can enter.
Yeah, I agree.
And Tesla is working on a couple of big ones. So first one, transport.
Yeah, so I think you were explaining how Elon thinks about abundance,
Yeah.
isn't it? I mean, you were like, he's already on a new level of how abundance actually
On the
looks
level
like.
5.
Yeah,
And if you think about how level 5 would be, and that would be amazing.
yeah, because there are still some. I mean, for example, the example that you brought up is, why are we still paying for house X on the center of the city, like 6 times more than a house in which is 10 or 20 kilometers outside of the center city? Why is that? It's still status, or there's like, I think at this moment we are still in the discussion. If you look forward, okay, if we're getting into abundance, how are we going to solve these kind of issues?
Mm-hmm.
So if are we still going to pay more for these kind of houses, and who's going to pay, and with what? Because there is no kind of currency anymore, or because we are living in abundance. So how are we going to solve these kind of issues?
Yeah.
And I think that that Elon already thinks about this. No, of course it's not going to be an issue, because we're not going to think in that way anymore. I think we also had this discussion before, that it could be that normally that the center of the city was the pinnacle of your dream, but it could be that with automated transport, that's going to completely lose its value. Because normally you would go to the pub, which is next to that place where everybody goes, and it's next to your work, and there's like a kind of coziness, and it's in the city, and there's like-minded people. But with a self-driving car, the pub could be the car itself.
Yeah, there would,
or
be many...
it could be your home.
Yeah.
So exactly the soil. How important is that going to be? How and I'm still figuring it out by myself, but maybe you're already thoughts about that.
I think if you think about amazing abundance, and being available for all, because that will be the point. Like, okay, Flora, maybe you did well, you sold your company, you have 2 cleaning ladies in your house that lighten you up from all those 1, 2, and 3 levels. Good for you, but that's not the discussion we have there. You can do that, Florian, because you're in that situation. I cannot do this because I just have a normal job and I cannot pay these people, and I cannot do that. So that's the first level of abundance, but that's still very reactive. Level 5, you start thinking about solving problems and using the resources that are widely available, be it AI with information, be it robotics by labor, be it energy by just getting the production going, be it transport by getting your good from A to B, whatever you need. There's abundance for that for everybody.
Yeah, so you're becoming less self-centric, you mean? It's not about your own goals, it's about or
solving problems. So
yeah.
Then the transition towards amazing abundance is going to be a very confronting one. And I've been through this in my life, I think, or sort of, and still working towards that. So I sold my first company, then did a couple of good investments, so I could have that sort of financial freedom to make decisions more on my own terms. So that was very useful. But then you start thinking about, okay, what's next? I'm a 40-year-old guy. What do I want to do? Where can I contribute? Where can I be actually meaningful? Where can I help, fellow friends or fellow humans achieving what I want?
Yep.
And that's actually a super hard question.
Yeah.
So many people that are now living in all these Central Park stations and all that prime real estate in Amsterdam, many people are actually not solving big problems. They're just sort of bureaucrats in or a corporate world or a governmental role. And
it's a bullshit job, you mean? In terms of solving real issues.
Real issues. So now you're this very important hedge funds manager. You're managing all this positions, and your day is filled with with important meetings in Central Park in the most expensive restaurants and so. But you're maybe the companies that you're financing are helping, but maybe you're not really solving like big problems to get things done. You're just sort of profiting and being able to navigate through this world where complexity and scarcity is created. So you know how to navigate in that world and how to get a good position for yourself in that. So that will be a very confronting thing to.
Because if this hedge fund manager has a team of 20, and he's going to start applying AI to his company, he's going to get rid of 10 people, and then he suddenly a few years down the road he will be on his own, and he will has to get rid of himself as well, because the AI is so good at running that hedge fund. That's the bullshit jobs are kind of solved.
Yeah, my argument
now this guy needs to think of, okay, but what I'm going to do next.
My argument would be the whole hedge fund will be obsolete.
Exactly, yeah,
because there's plenty of energy available for everybody at some point, and we still need to have a long route to go. All the information is available, all the transport is available, all the labor is available. What are the things that you normally need to finance? Look at a balance sheet of a company, and you have like transport, you have labor, you have energy, and you have information. That's like 90% of the cost of any given company in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I look at my balance sheet of my company right now, I hire people, I need transport, so I need to get my goods from A to B. I need energy in order to have my my office being warmed up and have the lights turned on, and I need information in order to, process information, process data, and all that. Yeah, all that will be, and we've gone through the internet revolution already, where it was an information revolution, right? So that has been being shared over the last 20 years, and
an internet and software revolution. So software was eating the world.
Yes.
So you only need your phone on your desk to actually do business.
Yeah, and there was this
your agenda anymore, your big phone, your whatever.
Yeah, no, and there was this amazing stat already like years ago, like 10 years ago, that with the smartphone of 10 years ago, you had so much information at hand as the president of the United States 25 years before. So, yeah, normally in the world 50 years ago, if you had information, you were sort of the king of the mountain because nobody else had that information.
Yeah, and now with AI, with the Claude bot, which is trending on X right now, you have already an army of like maybe 4 or 5 people actually doing stuff for you with an AI.
24/7 all the time.
24/7.
Yeah.
And you can just sit in your bed or in your bathtub and speak to your phone, giving orders to this AIs in order to actually get things done.
Yeah.
And it's already now. So how is this going to look in a few years? I mean,
yeah. So
So AI is going to eat the world even faster than software has been eating the world.
Yes. So okay, now we dive into the mission statement of Tesla: amazing abundance.
Yeah, I still think that we are not completely aware of what he's actually thinking about this, because it's so new, and it's been changed from sustainable to amazing.
Yeah,
I hope we will get some more wording or color around that.
Not only wording and color, but we can actually track very specific milestones.
Yeah,
because. Right now, I always like the sort of top-down approach, right? So we
your triangle.
Yes, exactly. So we have amazing abundance as sort of the thing
the mission,
that we are striving towards to. So all the questions that Tesla can ask now as a company, what I liked about accelerating the world to sustainable energy is like you're working for Tesla, and you can simply ask yourself, what I'm doing, does that contribute to accelerating the world to sustainable
amazing abundance?
Now to amazing abundance.
Yeah.
So am I actually contributing to
or am I doing a bullshit job?
Yeah. So then, of course, the boss of this amazing abundance is Elon Musk.
Yep.
And he got a compensation plan being presented over the last couple of...
Well, he's not even a boss. I think he's the brainchild. Or it's not even that he's the...
Yeah, okay, but let's say in the
It
form
feels
of...
so hierarchical but he's actually already...
Yeah, but let's say in the sort of structure that we know, he's the CEO of the company. So he's at helm of the company. And
Yeah, I would say it's a founder or the visionary, but he's not really the... Otherwise, it looks so top down, you know?
Yeah,
Like
but I think what they always say is like Elon got a big hammer. So, for example, we're going to pick out the S and the X.
True.
There are not many business leaders that are
But
willing
did Elon
to take...
decided, or did the AI within Tesla decide that?
Yeah, we don't know, but...
I think
least
the AI,
decide.
because the AI said, well, you know, those square meters,
useless.
they are useless for SNX. They are too expensive.
Yeah,
Why don't you just quit it and build myself?
yeah.
So the digital Optimus already made that decision for building the physical Optimus.
Yeah. Yeah, but the point where I'm heading towards with you
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I'm
is,
trying to distract you.
don't worry,
Yeah,
is that...
I haven't spoke to you for 4 weeks.
Yeah,
so
that's right. Let me get him here. So the main thing is that the mission now for Tesla is clear. But a couple of months ago, this mission was already, of course, being discussed within the Tesla company, and they decided to have some milestones in order to achieve that for them. So,
so we have those operational milestones which were presented like 2 months ago during the shareholder meeting.
Yes, so we have
20 million cars,
20 million cars.
10 million FSD subscribers,
Yes,
1 million bots,
and 1 million robotaxis.
and 1 million robotaxis. Yeah.
So if those milestones are being achieved, so we have 1 million robots, and they're retooling the Fremont factory in order to get to this 1 million. So this is sort of stage one of scaling the Optimus, right? Because Elon talked about having billions of Optimus bots.
Yeah.
Then we have the robotaxis, and that will be probably grow to 5 to 10 to 20 million a year that will be deployed over those.
Yeah, so that was interesting yesterday that he was saying there were like 500 robotaxis already driving around in Austin and in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
I think we as community have been following the robotaxi tracker, and was saying there were 240, and everybody's already cheering like, oh, look how the exponential curve is.
Yeah.
And now Elon says, no, they're already 500.
Yeah.
And he said, we will double this amount every month. So try to double 500 to the end of the year. We are at 250,000 robotaxis already by the end of the year.
Wow. Yeah.
So that 1 million robotaxis is somewhere in Q2 of
28, 29.
27.
Yeah.
If it's doubling every month.
Yeah.
So this is going to be one of the new milestones for robotaxi. Okay, are we going to double every month?
Yeah.
And how are we going to monitor that? Not by the number of cars, but by the number of cumulative miles driven.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the key metric for this milestone.
Yeah. So in order for Tesla to get to amazing abundance, they set these operational milestones, and these operational milestones are sort of proof points that this can be done at scale.
Exactly.
That's me, because 1 million Optimus is not the end stage, 1 million robotaxis is not the end stage, but that's just proof that this technology works at that scale, right?
Yeah, it's amazing to think that. I think a few months ago we discussed this in our podcast that we were looking at those milestones. We were like, "Wow!"
Yeah, wow! But then for the ultimate,
a few months later, we are already like thinking, "Okay, but this is just the beginning. This is just a proof point of what he's going to build."
Yeah, but the growth plan says here 10-year growth plan for Elon for his potential payout. The company needs to reach 8.5 trillion valuation. That's the thing.
Yeah. So in order to get to 8.5 trillion, if you look at the PE ratio, we need like 400 billion.
And
operating profit.
you will not get there with 1 million bots and 1 million robotaxis. You need way more.
I think if you get to the 20 million cars, 1 million subscribers, and 1 million bots.
Yeah.
And what am I missing? The fourth is the
vehicles delivered and the subscribers.
Subscribe the Robotaxis. So you have 1 million subscribers, 20 million cars.
Yeah.
I think you are around 25 to 50 billion operating profit.
Yeah. So, and this is, of course, the road for Elon Musk, right? So Elon...
Well, for his paycheck.
Yeah.
For his bonus.
Yeah, for his operational paycheck.
Yeah.
But why are there operational milestones? Because that's are the goals Elon will push towards to get to make those happen. Because
and to make decisions.
Yeah, make decisions for that. But those will be the biggest drivers for this amazing abundance. But they also know, like, if we have 1 million robotaxis or cybercabs operational, they don't need Elon anymore for that mission, because from 1 million to 10 million, there can be other people that can be executing on that. But to get to 1 million, there's a lot of brain power needed from Elon at this point. So therefore, those are assigned to him, right? So that's how you set goals for your team members as well, because they need to execute on those targets. So the great thing is right now with the earnings report that is being released, we now have this top-down approach, amazing abundance. But what are the things that we actually need to track in order to get there? Because right now, Tesla vehicle deliveries are 8.3
or 4 or something.
Let me be exact here. Cumulative 8.9.
Or 8.9 already, yeah.
Yes. But the next 11 million cars that needed to be there for this mission will very much accelerate the world to sustainable energy. So if there are 20 million Teslas on the road, that has a higher utilization capability because of the cybercabs and just a 5x utilization. So that's actually 50 million cars that are being replaced. And that is a significant impact on the sort of the energy and pollution that is going on in the world. So that's a one big factor. Then we have the other milestone is FSD subscriptions that ties into that other one. But then Optimus bots and robotaxis is 1 million. And right now we also have a good breakdown for the energy that is being built and the capacity that Tesla has.
You actually were already saying that the 20 million cars will drive themselves. So it's already that 20 million is like it's like a flywheel for that 1 million robotaxis, and it's going to accelerate so fast, because we all know that those 8.9 cars are already robotaxis.
Yes. And so
not all because of hardware 3 maybe, but that's still discussion. There's a patent going on. Maybe they can.
So for the 10 million FSD subscriptions in a year time, so from Q4 24 till 25, grew at 38%, 1.1 million.
Yep.
Where do you think that we are end of this year? How many FSD subscriptions do you think we will have?
Yeah, well, I was so happy that they finally disclosed this number, and not only the number right now, but also the numbers from the last quarters. So we actually came from Q3 from 800,000 right now to 1.1 million, and the base of vehicles went from 8.5 to 8.9. So you can actually see that
7.3 to 8.9.
Yeah, so within a year there was like a 20% increase of the number of vehicles, but the FSD subscriptions actually have been rising by 38%. So there is you already see that leverage.
Yeah.
And
so
that leverage is because the base was already driving, and those people are also buying FSD. Yeah. So
a couple of catalysts there.
What I'm trying to say is that if you divide the numbers, you get to like a uptake rate of 12%. But that's not really reasonable, because you can only look at US, because FSD is in US. It's not in Europe and China. So if Europe and China will get approval of FSD, you will see the same kind of uptake rate. So if you look at just the US fleet, it's like 3 million. With 1.1 FSD subscribers, you're talking about 35 plus.
Yeah.
So if you apply that 35 plus to the whole fleet, you are talking about 35% on 10 million. You're talking about 3.5 million FSD subscribers by the end of the year already. That's 3.5 extra billions in revenue, and I think 100% it's going to be net margin extra. So and that's just being opening up Europe and China.
Yeah.
But what happens in the US with the product being solved? And I think, I don't know how many months we will be until unsupervised, but maybe 3 to 6 months. That will also accelerate the FSD subscriber rate.
Yeah. So I will, my prediction.
So there are many levers in order to get that FSD subscription. Well, I would say at least by the end of the year, between 2 and 3 million FSD subscribers. And then end of next year, we will actually get to maybe 6 and 7. Yeah,
my prediction will be that a year from now, every car being sold by Tesla where FSD is approved, so let's say the US market for now, has a 100% FSD take rate. I will explain you why.
Yeah, so there are like a half a million cars sold in the US every year.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Maybe 600, 700,000.
Will be 100% FSD. Why? Why is that? Because FSD will be more and more tied into insurance. So Tesla insurance is ramping up fast. And if they get approval for their cyber caps, also that insurance loop is being closed. So you have Tesla insurance, but also new insurance companies jumping on that.
Yeah.
And it will be a mandatory thing to have that on your car. But then the costs are sort of not important for the people because it's being covered with the sort of monthly payment that you then have to maintain your car. Basically, insurance and FSD are very tightly combined. Plus, everybody will want this unsupervised thing. So I think Tesla will move to a situation where they have FSD as optional, to have FSD just being included in the car, and there's just a monthly payment tied to it. Also, what I like was the CFO of Tesla. What's his name again?
Yeah, Vanit or something.
Yeah, but he explained like, okay, the way we're currently looking at how we should model these type of businesses, we're very much still looking in the back mirror of a car company and not as a subscription-based type of company. So they said, are we going to margins of Model 2, Model 3, Model Y being hit at certain point? So yes, of course, because Tesla, from a certain point of view, will be seen as a subscription service company. They're moving more towards transport as a service. And maybe you pay upfront for your car, but then you can add it to the fleet or subtract it to the fleet. So there will be a whole new world there. So from my point of view, a year from now, I think that's not too optimistic. Everything in the markets where FSD is being fully allowed will have a take rate of 100%.
Yeah, for the new cars.
Yeah, for the new cars that are being sold. But the old cars,
and for exactly,
they will be retrofitted. First of all, to be capable. So hardware 3 is not fully capable yet.
Yeah.
And probably 2-3 million of that fleet is hardware 3 that we're talking about. So they will be retrofitted because first of all, it's the safest option. The safety is very important, and then they can contribute to the value that is being there. And you can say, okay, from now on, your insurance company just only covers you when you have FSD on your car. It will be a mandatory thing. It will not be an optional thing anymore. So, and Tesla is the only car with mandatory FSD. And we have not talked about that FSD. Tesla is the only company that can have this. But at a certain point, it will also become mandatory for safety for other cars, just like a driving field, right? So they will license the technology of FSD, and it will become industry standard, like driving belts. In the beginning, you probably didn't need it in your car, but it will be a mandatory thing. So will we see more and more?
Watch your hand.
Yeah, more and more like 100% instead of like this 10, 20%, 30%. they will push towards 100% solution. Why? Because also FSD will become better and better when it's a fleet thing, right? Not just a car itself anymore, but they can anticipate other cars that are already utilizing this software. So Elon had this remark about very unsafe crossroads, for example, in certain cities where humans also bump into each other. That the FSD actually doesn't know what to do with its situation because the humans are making it unsafe.
Yeah.
But that will be solved when the whole fleet, Elon also talked about 95%, 98% of all the cars will be autonomous. The future is autonomous. The future is not humans driving cars.
So with that knowledge, you were talking about 100% of the new sold fleet will get FSD, but how fast do you think that the current fleet will get FSD? Because the numbers already show, and that's why I was so happy that the numbers were there, that there is already like a accelerated rate of people who already had the car actually getting FSD. And it's FSD has been solved for only a few months. So how fast is this going to happen?
It will be 100% in 3 years' time.
The total fleet?
Yes. I will explain why.
Okay. So
let's say 90.
You are talking within 3 years there will be 9 million FSD subscribers. No. There will be 15 million FSD subscribers.
No, more, because the production will also be ramped.
Yeah. So if you.
But let's take for the sake of simplicity.
We're at 9 million right now. So every year
2 million every year that we add to the fleet. So 50 million cars. Yeah, there will be 50 million subscribers. Why? Or let's say 90% at least. Why do I think that? First, the early adapters are getting this. So you want to try this new technology. We're ironing out all the kinks, etc. And you have the ability to have that. But it will become more and more mandatory. So why would Tesla allow people? And they're first friendly going to push you towards this. We want you to, have 99 euros for that. But then it will become more aggressive because insurance companies will start pressuring you, like, why don't you have FSD turned on? You're actually less safe at this moment.
Yeah, I got your point. I'm actually getting a visual again, and let's see how you think about this. But if all the new cars are getting FSD, will those cars will they actually be sold? Because they are going to be an autonomous car. So which percentage of the cybercabs will actually be sold?
Mm-hmm.
So all those new cars will not be sold. They will actually be on the balance sheet of Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
So if that percentage is going to be more than 50-60%, you are already getting into this FSD subscription rates.
Yeah.
But who's going to pay for FSD subscription? Tesla then? Or because there's no reason for Tesla to actually buy that.
It depends. Tesla will operate their own fleet. I think that is very clear. And they have other people in a more like Airbnb model that can add or subtract cars.
So that will also be a reason to buy FSD.
Yeah.
So the moment that you are able to actually get allowed on the network,
mm-hmm.
but you're only able to get into the network when you have FSD subscription, that will be a reason to buy FSD subscription.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you could also argue that you don't need to pay for FSD subscription to get on the network.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, maybe Tesla will challenge you. Like, let's say you're losing so much money, you can utilize your car, and there will probably people be stubborn. So maybe let's be a bit more conservative and say 80% will have it.
Do you think that Tesla will actually get into a kind of a buyback with the customers?
Can be, but the point that I want to make is that the future is autonomous and will be inevitable. So we're still thinking about this like optionality thing, but it's going to be a mandatory thing because it's way safer, and it will be pushed by insurers. It will be pushed by Tesla. It will be eventually also be pushed by regulation.
Yep.
At some point,
and by the community, maybe even,
and by communty, like, are you driving your kid?
Yeah, yourself
to school?
Yeah.
Are you fucking crazy?
You know how dangerous that is.
Yeah. So at some point, we will look back, like, well, have you been driving through this crossroads all again? And then at a certain point, when they're in cities, or let's say 60-70% of the fleet is autonomous, then the safety levels will be unprecedented. It will be 10, 20 times,
the
50
numbers
times.
will show.
The numbers will show. So that tipping point will be reached at a certain level. Plus, not only that, but car ownership will be a less and less important thing, because cybercabs will flood the market. We will have, Tesla was very clear in this earning call, like the cybercab will out-manufacture all the cars combined by probably a factor of 5 or maybe a factor of 10. So you just pay for transport. You don't pay for the vehicle anymore. For the most of the people, there will be, for elderly people, younger people, there will be a thing. Yep. And maybe some stubborn people from our generation still wants to drive a car, but there will be a minority. So
yeah, I think some people still want to drive a Roadster themselves.
Yeah, and the Roadster is still on the roadmap, so that's a very cool thing. I would actually want to drive one, so that's
it's kind of strange with the knowledge you have right now that SNX is going to be killed.
Yes,
that Roadster is still going to be produced. It's like a gift to the community or something.
Yeah, a final gift for sort of.
How did they explain it? It's like the cherry on the
the icing on the cherry.
The icing on the cherry of the cake. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So that is a very exciting thing, of course.
But at least we have milestones now for how this amazing abundance is going to be created. We have
milestones. So the milestones of Elon, and now we can track in terms of
them. Yeah.
We can track them in terms of percentages. So in terms of FSD subscription,
I would be so happy if Tesla would quit the whole quarterly earnings, but just put some. I mean, they have these milestones on their phones everywhere. You know.
Yes.
Every employee will have access to real-time growth of everything. Yep. How cool would it be if you just log into the Tesla website or on X? You get these tweets about, this is the numbers.
This is more or less already happening.
It is, exactly.
I would love to have the Tesla earnings call to be more like a podcast like we have right now.
Yeah.
And you have just the management team of all these brilliant minds just sitting there, and it becomes more a brainstorming session.
Yeah, with a pizza and a Coke. Yeah.
And just talk about, the stuff that is going on.
It's probably due to a regulation that is not allowed.
Yes. That's the old system, so say.
There we go again. The scarcity thinking.
So no, the cumulative deliveries is a very interesting one. The active FSD subscriptions, and then of course, what I was very excited about was also the installed annual manufacturing capacity. Because Tesla will use 20 billion in CapEx the coming year to build factories, to have a sort of infrastructure play, as they call it. So now
for 6 things, no? For the refinery.
Yes. So right now there are a couple of things that are being tracked. So first of all, the production capacity for the cars. But then we see that Cybercab and Semi are in the tooling phase.
Yep.
The Roadster is in design development, so it will be TBD. Then Megapack, Powerwall, Megapack, and Optimus are in production or construction phase. So that's super exciting.
And also the AI cluster build out.
Yes, so that
Cortex 2.
Yes, so that capacity is also being published right now. So this is amazing, and they will increase their capacity from 150 as it is right now to almost 300,000 in June.
Doubling in 2 quarters.
Doubling. And then another thing, that makes us followers super excited is that we can track the amount of miles that are being driven by FSD. So the magic number of...
Which at 7 point something at this moment.
And then at services, where Robotaxis is being added for the first time, FSD supervised added, and automotive services, we see it's almost 700,000 cumulative paid Robotaxi miles, and that number is going to go vertical the coming years. That's the most exciting number, and it's also very interesting that they put it under the number services. Yeah. So the services business will be exploding in 2020, 26, 27.
Yeah, I hope they're actually going to also put in a line of Robotaxi revenues. I mean, they're too small right now, but I hope they are gonna.
We can calculate, right? Let's do a
Of
very
course.
simple.
We just it's cumulative 700,000 divided by 500, and then you can extrapolate it.
Yeah, or if you would take a very easy number, let's say $1 per mile or so. It's going to be less, but then it's 700K. It's nothing yet. But it's
but we were screaming for this FSD numbers
Yes.
for months, and it would be very nice that we don't need to scream for.
And there's also a roadmap of when in which city is being rolled out. So we have California, Texas, Arizona, Florida, Nevada, Miami, Orlando, Tampa. Amazing. So we launched FSD supervised in South Korea. So it's going to be a global thing. You know, all the Tesla cars globally will have this FSD at some certain point.
That's. I mean, the doubling of the AI compute will help us actually get to unsupervised.
Yep.
And unsupervised will get us to the doubling of the cities. Every quarter. And
you raised the CapEx questions many times. So Tesla announced that they will have 20 billion in CapEx.
Very happy that they did that.
Yeah. And they made a remark, which was a very interesting one, of how to finance their future roadmap, because now they move to a subscription model instead of all the payments up front. So that's a whole new thing that will create a gap in earnings. But actually banks like subscription-based models. So they already in talks with banks.
Yeah, they're able to finance their growth.
Probably for every FSD subscription, every robotaxi on the road, you will unlock more and more money that you can then have for financing and
to build out your AI compute, to build out, etc. I mean, it's going to be
all that. So let's say we have 100,000. We have 1.1 million FSD subscriptions. You can get a loan from more to that. So and it earns itself back in a very predictable manner, right? So the banks will actually love that. And Tesla currently almost have no debt on their balance
zero.
sheet.
And they have 40 billion in cash.
44 billion cash.
So now they're going to spend 20 billion.
Yeah.
What was the cash flow, the free cash flow of this quarter?
15 in total. Total year was 15 billion or so. But
the whole year. So per quarter is like 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Well, with FSD accumulating, we will see more free cash flow every quarter. So
not in the beginning, because in the beginning will be subscriptions.
Yeah.
The effective amount will be less.
But we will see in the next quarter this effect that everybody was going to buy it right now.
Yeah.
So we will probably get an amazing quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, if we sell 150,000 FSD upfront, the Q1 numbers is going to be amazing.
And maybe people that will run to buy a Plaid or X, you know. So
also, yeah. So, but what I'm trying to come down to is that we got this 20 billion CapEx number.
Yeah.
They also said this is just the beginning. So, I've been talking about 3 months already that in order to get Optimus really functioning as we've been talking about level 5 amazing abundance, they probably need like 200 billion in CapEx only for compute and building out the factory of Optimus.
Yeah.
So we also need a lot of CapEx to build out the fleet of Cybercabs if they're going to be on the balance sheet of Tesla. So if you add all those CapEx forecasts together, it's like 1 trillion of CapEx needed for the next few years. So how are they going to fund that? Well, one is they're going to use the cash they already have right now. 2, they're going to be very capital efficient. That's your point always.
Yep.
And their capital efficiency is like extremely high.
Yeah.
But 3, they're probably going to lend it from the banks against the subscriptions and against the miles driven.
Yep.
So that's going to be their catalyst.
Yeah.
And don't forget that they are actually, if Robotaxi is going to accumulate this fast by doubling every month, and FSD is going to accumulate, as you are saying, faster than we think, the cash flows are going to grow every quarter as well. So maybe we don't even need that. Yeah. we can actually build out the CapEx from the cash flows.
Yeah. So Elon made a statement, if in order...
Because I do think that analysts
Yeah.
and financiers, they will look at the free cash flow. So I think Elon needs to have a free cash flow every quarter, which is higher than their CapEx output. Because if that's going to turn around, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, or you can have a couple of years where you can have that, but that needs to
there needs to be like an outlook.
Yeah. No, I agree. So, but
it also shows that if they are able to get to 20 billion of CapEx already next year, or this year, sorry, and last year was only 10 or 9 or something, that their cash flow is going to increase by at least 10 billion. Because otherwise that metric is gonna switch.
Yeah, maybe there will be that's still a possibility that can happen because they're ramping up so many big initiatives right now, right? But Elon made a remark on X. In order to get the amount of chips needed that Elon envisions for the future, every dollar that is currently in the system will be needed. So he needs more money than the total dollar supply. So Elon doesn't think in dollar anymore; he thinks in energy output.
Yeah.
As sort of the ultimate currency that you then have, and that will be a reality very soon. Because there are a couple of technologies in parallel, right? So if we can have 10,000 to 100 Starship launches every year, suddenly AI data centers in space are becoming a very viable option. And guess what the two companies are that can only build that? That's SpaceX and that's Tesla that needs to collaborate, probably with XAI, which, by the way, Tesla made.
So Tesla doesn't need to put their CapEx into their own data center GPUs, but they just can rent it from SpaceX or.
But they said the question was how big of a part, let's say end of this decade, will be revenue from chips. So he was end of the decade is so long away. But he said, no, we need all the chips ourselves. We need all the chips for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
We need them for our missions. And there's still so many things that will be rolled out. So we forgot about the Roboven. Elon mentioned that. We actually showed you the Roboven. Have you all forget about it? This type of thing. It's very exciting, and I'm very happy that right now we have this new mission statement, but we also have the milestones. And my idea for the podcast for the coming years to come is basically to just keep on reminding on that mission, keep on reminding what it will mean for us humans, what it will mean for our personal lives. We can be sort of pioneers in this amazing abundance type of thinking, and then track it down to the actual milestones that needs to be delivered for Tesla. And maybe we can also combine the other companies of Elon with XAI, SpaceX, Boring Company, and Neuralink that are also going to contribute to this amazing abundance window that we can maybe be in 10 years' time, 5 years' time. Let's say in the 5 years' time, we're going to see it. And maybe in 10 years' time, we can live it as a society.
Yeah, well, there are two things. SpaceX IPO is around the corner.
Yep.
So there will be a lot of milestones and for what is SpaceX actually going to do the next 5 to 10 years.
Yep.
So there's going to be a lot of information on that part and how SpaceX and Tesla are going to relate. And I think on the other side, the XAI stuff, we're going to see more and more as well. I mean, there was this leaked interview 2 weeks ago. The guy got fired immediately by spilling the beans.
Yeah.
But he was already giving some information that was very interesting for us as Tesla followers. So one of the things that he leaked was that they were building like a digital Optimus.
Oh, yeah.
And that's actually what Elon referred to in this meeting as well, that who is going to orchestrate the legion of Optimi who are going to build this oil refinery.
Yeah.
That's going to be the digital Optimus. Mm-hmm. So that's what is being built at XAI.
Yeah.
So there you have your triangle again. And I think that's our quest, our mission of this podcast.
Yeah.
To get that triangle into
I would say the quest for our podcast is to better understand what amazing abundance will mean.
Yeah.
What that will look like, and then having the concrete milestones being tracked every quarter, with not only the Tesla earnings but also SpaceX and Boring and all those updates. And there's so much news coming out in this whole ecosystem that we have like a weekly podcast every week where we can probably dissect
maybe we have
smaller
to use a triangle as our symbol.
and try to like a small pyramid, and then
Small pyramid.
circles around again. But
yeah, that's the way we're going to explain it.
yeah, and also there, it's also interesting that also when you talk about satellite technology to scan certain areas, to have breakthroughs in certain areas, I'm quite confident that we also will have many breakthroughs in the next 10 years about our own past, just by simply technology revealing those kind of things. So
actually, what Wikipedia is already doing.
Yeah, and the Italian guy, they had scans of the pyramid, and there are some questions about what it can mean. But at least everybody is already starting to having the consensus, like those pyramids were not tombs. There were, they had other purposes. So also our past will be clarified by sort of the sustainable abundance.
Yeah, we will become more conscious about our history, and also about if that's going to actually explain some stuff, then we could maybe understand each other a little bit better, and also understand what our real purpose is here.
Yeah, let's see. Let's discuss.
But up till then, we're just going to talk bullshit in this podcast.
No, it was a very. I was very happy to talk with you again. And, I'm
happy to be back and
this
see you
really
as well.
Sparked my curiosity to the next level again, that we now have this amazing abundance. And like, I always like it when it's very clear where you can track it. Like, why is this happening? How is this happening? Are we on track? And now it can become more sort of
become a game.
And a lot of this kind of stuff that was in this report, we have been guessing about those numbers for the last 5 years.
Yeah, but even during this earnings call, it was like, okay, we have this report.
Yeah.
But it's already boring for Elon. So while talking, he is already talking about new milestones.
Yeah.
Which are not in that report yet.
Yeah, like chips and all that.
Chips, solar,
solar chips.
And the integration of SpaceX.
No potato chips.
No potato chips. Idaho, no?
Yeah,
I was talking about Idaho.
Potato chips.
They're very good at farming potato chips, but now they are also going to farm AI chips.
AI chips. Okay, see you next week, man.
Okay, bye-bye.